Peaky Blinders is a popular British gangster drama television series that has gained a cult following over the past few years. It tells the story of the Shelby families and their illegal activities in Birmingham, England during the 1920s. While the show is undoubtedly thrilling, it's also full of suspenseful and shocking moments, particularly in regard to character deaths. In today's video, we will be taking a look at some of the most shocking death scenes in Peaky Blinders, starting off with Grace Shelby. Being introduced in the very first season of Peaky Blinders as an undercover agent sent by Inspector Campbell to find out the location of the stolen guns. However, as time went on, Grace started to develop feelings for Tommy, and the two eventually fell in love. All seemed well for the two lovebirds. They were happy and even had a child together. However, in the second episode of the third season, as Tommy and Grace finally tied the knot, there was an unexpected guest attending the wedding. She was shot by an assassin sent by Vincente Changretta to avenge the blinding of his son, Angel. With a cursed sapphire hung around her neck, Tommy was too slow to save his new bride from the fatal bullet. It's very likely that both Tommy and fans of the show will never quite get over Grace's sudden and tragic death. Her character was beloved, and Tommy didn't deserve to lose his wife and mother of his children. This is by far the most shocking and important Peaky Blinders death. Grace was the one thing holding Tommy together, and without her, there's no telling what's left of his psyche. John Shelby. Christmas cards arrive at the various Shelby residences bearing a black hand, a declaration of vendetta from Luca Changretta, hellbent on avenging his father. Tommy orders the family home to Smallheath to afford them better protection in their home territory, and Michael is sent to collect John from his family home. The brash third-born Shelby brother and his fiery temper had been an integral part of the Peaky Blinders since day one. No sooner does Michael arrive before hay bales on an inconspicuous truck tumble away to reveal mafia assassins. They proceed to gun Michael and John down in a hail of automatic gunfire before the audience's jaws even have time to drop. Viewers are left an utterly nail-biting cliffhanger. The motionless, bullet-riddled bodies of two of the main characters give no reassuring indication as to whether either man is still alive. The next episode reveals that while Michael survived the encounter, John became the first victim of the vendetta. A truly unforgettable start to a new season, and an equally unforgettable character death. Danny Whizbang. It's quite an open secret that Tommy rarely ever puts his trust in someone. Only a handful of people have ever managed to earn his trust. Danny Whizbang was one of them. He had fought alongside Tommy as fellow tunnelers during the First World War. He was considered to be dead early on in the show when Thomas shoots him in the back of his head with a false bullet to sneak him away from the Italians he angered by accidentally killing one in a mental episode. After faking his death, Tommy sent Danny to London to act as a spy for him. He was extremely loyal to Tommy, even during the fight between him and Billy Kimber, where he jumped in front of the bullet that would have ended Tommy's life. He remained a loyal soldier till the very end. Billy Kimber. Kimber was such a big, shadowy, looming threat for the entirety of the first season, it almost seems as if he were untouchable, being the first powerful villain character to face off against the Peaky Blinders. When it came down to it, it looked as if Kimber had the upper hand in the shootout. He shoots at Tommy, who is saved by Danny after he jumps in front of the bullet aimed at him, dying in the process. This shocks Tommy momentarily, but he reacts fast enough to snap into action and shoot Kimber in the head. Everything happens so quickly and suddenly that it's almost underwhelming. There's no build-up or dramatic shocking reveal, it's just done and over with, which is somehow even more shocking. Polly Gray. Polly was undoubtedly one of the most important characters in the series. She was the only person in the family whose opinion Tommy actually respected. Polly was Tommy's pillar of hope, and a lot of his confidence came from the fact that Polly always had his back. Fans knew that the character would not be appearing in the final season of the show because of the fact that the incredible Helen McCrory had passed away before the show had finished filming. What fans were not aware of, however, was exactly how the show would handle her death. Towards the end of the fifth season, after Tommy's plans were foiled, Polly was killed by IRA members to teach him a lesson. When he saw Polly's body for the first time, Tommy was completely distraught. This moment changed him a lot as a person. Ben Younger. This death was both tragic and sudden. After helping Tommy with his work and stealing Ada's heart in the process, it was incredibly heartbreaking to see him lose his life while trying to help the Shelbys. After Tommy reveals his intentions to Oswald Mosley, Ben becomes an unexpected target and gets killed in a devastating bombing that leaves both the streets of London and the Shelby family in peril. Ben had a good heart, and his death was both tragic and shocking. Freddie Thorne. While this death didn't exactly break the hearts of fans, it was certainly quite shocking and confusing when Ada's husband was suddenly dead off-screen before the second season. In fact, the second season starts off with the Shelby family at his funeral. Everyone knew that Freddie was a supporter of the Communist Party, and his life was almost in constant danger. However, he just suddenly stopped appearing on the show. Viewers didn't even get a chance to say goodbye, making it even more surprising. Inspector Chester Campbell. This villain survived far too long, and it seemed he just kept hanging on. He finally met his end in the finale of Season 2. This episode, At the Derby, is one of the most nail-biting cat-and-mouse chases of the series. Finally, Tommy and the Peaky Blinders think they have one leg up on the Sabinis. However, Campbell appeared once again to make things interesting. To our shock, Polly fired the killing shot, and all viewers definitely didn't see that coming. Good riddance, though, and it was satisfying for Polly to have her revenge. Michael Gray. It seemed inevitable, in part thanks to Polly and her premonitions, that one of either Tommy or Michael would die between Peaky Blinders' last season and the film. Much to the jubilation of fans, it turned out to be the latter. This is another Peaky Blinders death that many predicted. However, Tommy shoots him in the face so swiftly and coldly that it takes the audience by surprise. It did even seem in the setup that Tommy would be the one to go, but as he always does, he thwarted the plans of his enemies and remained 2 steps ahead of them. Barney Thompson. This sweet man was broken out of a mental facility by Tommy and his crew. While the character only appears in 3 episodes, he was a big part of Tommy's master plan in the episodes of Season 5. In an attempt to assassinate Oswald Mosley, Barney was the sniper that would pull the trigger. Unfortunately, there was a leak, and viewers were left to squeal at the screen as Barney met his demise right before he fired the shot. Ruby Shelby. When predicting who dies in Peaky Blinders' 6th season, it is hard to believe that anybody could have seen this, the most shocking of Peaky Blinders deaths, coming. Ruby's curse, consumption, and passing took fans by surprise at every turn. When she was initially diagnosed, and it was figured out to be a curse, her fate seemed sealed. Tommy leaves his daughter promising to find a cure, leading to a crazed search for the woman who culminates in an absolutely maniacal rant in a graveyard. When he is done ripping up the gravestone of the deceased girl and dementedly ranting about paying her mother any sum of money she desires to lift the curse, the audience is aghast at Tommy's unbridled descent into madness. In a desolating turn of events, Tommy returns to the hospital convinced he now has the solution to the problem if he can find the dead girl's mother, only to discover his precious daughter has died while he was away. The moment where Lizzie screams the announcement of her death to Tommy as the pair stand in the rain is one of the most harrowing and gut-wrenching moments in the whole show. That's a wrap for this video. Which death did you find the most shocking? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.